This is gonna be a long one. Hey guys, TheRealImaginary here. I don't do very many story times here on my channel because I don't have that interesting of a life. But this is one thing that happened that I can't not tell you about. This is the story of how I ended up like this. Dirty, sad, and fat. I mean, I was already fat before this happened, but I just had to put it in there so no one feels the need to comment it and tell me, because trust me, I know. But seriously, this is a story about what happened to Shane and I a few weeks ago, where we almost got hypothermia and died. I look rough. Why? I look good in the mirror. Why do I look rough in the camera? Sorry. I don't even know where to begin. So this was July 14th, and I wanted to go kayaking really bad. Shane works at a factory, and so since it was the 4th of July, they had a 4th of July shutdown, and they were closed for a week. I had off on the 14th, so I was like, let's do something. Let's spend the day together. You know, we haven't got to spend much time together lately, so let's do something together. Didn't think it would almost cost us our lives. I wanted to go kayaking. I hadn't been kayaking in over a year. We borrowed his grandma's kayak and he had one. We went, it's about 20 minutes away from our house. There's a little town, like if you just go that way, there's a little town. 10 to 15 miles from our house. If I look out, I can see the creek out my window right here. So we were planning on coming down the creek, getting out at this bridge right there, and getting out and coming up to our house and taking my car to go get his truck. Well, we should have known from the beginning that this was a bad idea, but we're stupid and we didn't. We kept going. We got up to, I'm just going to tell you, okay, I don't want to say the actual place because they don't know where I live and I don't want to get murdered. So I'm gonna call it Freckles. That is, we're gonna go from Freckles to our town, which I'm going to call Peace. I don't know why. Okay, so we get to Freckles, and it's like 15 miles away from here, approximately. It's 10 to 15, I'm not sure exactly. We get to it, we go across this bridge, we take our kayaks down, and he parks over on the other side of the bridge, and we get down there. We had to kind of scooch it along a little bit because it was very low. The water is very, very low here. It has only rained like 3 times this month, and it's only for a couple hours, if that. So it's very, very low, and we had a couple people tell us that it was too low, but we didn't believe them because we just wanted to go kayaking. So we get in the water. I'm in this kayak. I had to wedge my paddle to keep from going because Shane had to go get something out of his truck, so I had to wait on him. So I'm just like laying there tanning, like, this is nice. I like this. I like this. And whenever he got back, we started going. We made it probably 100 feet down the stream, and then it's like, should have just gotten used to that sound then. And we had to scooch. There was a lot of scooching involved that day. And we got going, and then we went half a mile maybe, and then we started to notice the big dark storm clouds forming overhead. We were debating, we're like, should we turn around? I mean, the water is awful low, but yet let's go anyways. So we decided to keep going, and then it started to rain. So we go off to the side and get out and stand under this bush that had really big leaves. Like, the leaves were like this big, and I was like holding one like an umbrella, you know, being cute and funny and whatnot. We were standing there waiting for the rain to pass because it wasn't a lot. It wasn't heavy or really bad or anything. There was no thunder or lightning, and the clouds, you could see where they were just going to pass and it would be over in a few minutes. So we waited it out. While we were sitting there waiting, this little mint green bug, don't know what it was, but it decided to land on Shane's face. As soon as it landed, it was like, oh, nope, don't like this. And then came right back and landed right here. And as soon as it landed, it went and just burrowed into his beard. Freaked me out. So I like hit him. I was like, duh, like, get out of here. What is that? Gross. And then we squished it because that was weird. That little bug wanted his beard. And no little bug. No homes for you in Shane's beard. So the rain passed, we get back in the kayaks, and we decided to go. We saw a couple deer, which it was really cool because then it was all misty and foggy. And oh, side note, I had left my phone in the truck because I couldn't find my waterproof bag. I should have looked harder. We had a bottle of Mountain Dew, a bottle of Pepsi, and 3 bottles of water. I had on my swimming suit with my cover-up. He had on a t-shirt and his swim trunks. That was it. We started this expedition at 4 p.m. Things were just a little crazy in the morning. We didn't get going as soon as we wanted to, which now we should have just not went. Hi, buddy. So we started at 4 p.m. We didn't have any phone or anything, so we didn't know what time it was. Since I didn't have my phone, I was very upset because I didn't have a camera to take pictures of how pretty the water looked, and it was very pretty. Like, that's all the good that came out of this, was that it was pretty. I can only see his eyes. I get up a little higher. Now you're in the camera, but you look uncomfortable. Are you jealous? All the kitties in the video today. So there was this little island in the middle of the stream, and it was a creek. I like to refer to it as a river so it doesn't sound nearly as bad. You almost became an orphan. And we couldn't decide which side to go on, so we're like, let's go to the right. Why not? Drug the entire way past it. Lot of scooching. Sorry, bags. So we get past this little island, and then it smoothed out for a little ways, and we kept going, and we're like, wonder how far we've gone. And we had no idea, because there was so much scooching involved. One thing we didn't account for with this trip was the fact that Shane is a very thin man. He's a very light human being. I am not. I'm a very heavy human being. He would glide right across things, and then I'd come along and get stuck, and it sucked so bad, but I'm so glad I have a physically fit husband, because I would have probably died. Bouncy, 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 kitty. At this point, we were like, should we turn around? So we had only been going for like half an hour, and we weren't sure how far we had actually went. This whole thing should have taken us like 4 hours tops. We should have been home by 9 o'clock at least. I know that's 5 hours, trust me. We decided to just keep going. So there was a pattern to this ordeal where we would go for 100 feet, 200 feet, nice smooth paddling, you know, just, this is nice, this is what I wanted, and then all of a sudden, you get stuck. And so there was a lot of pushing with oars, trying to keep going, and then it would be nice for a little ways. And then we got to a spot where the water was literally this deep. I'm very uncoordinated anymore. I gained a lot of weight after my wedding in October, and I have no sense of balance anymore. I used to be pretty awesome and like have all this balance, and I just need to lose my weight. But that's not this story. So walking in a creek in flip-flops is not a good idea for me. I wore the shittiest pair of flip-flops I own because I didn't want to ruin any of my good ones, so I wore the pair that didn't even really fit me. They are too big and very uncomfortable, honestly. So, since I took so long walking in this water, Shane was like, get back in the kayak. I'm like, but what do you mean get back in the kayak? I can't go, it's too shallow, it's literally this deep, like what am I supposed to do? I'll drag you. You're amazing. I felt terrible. If I would have had to walk that entire time, it would have taken us probably twice as long, because I did not want to fall and break an ankle or something, because I need my ankles for work. Shane's very good at like walking in water, walking in the dark, and all that kind of stuff. He's a survivalist, and for some reason the survivalist had nothing we needed to survive that day. So he drugged me for a little ways, and I was like, I'm hungry, because we hadn't eaten since noon, and it was like probably 6 o'clock at this point. I'm like, I'm hungry. When we get back, can we order pizza? He's like, yeah, we'll get pizza. He's like, okay. Hey, can we cuddle? He's like, yeah, pizza and cuddles. That was our life motto for this day, was pizza and cuddles, because it got bad. So he was dragging me. I was sitting in the kayak, holding onto his kayak, and he has a hold of mine and is dragging me. So it's like dragging me down this creek. And then we get to a spot where it was deep again and we could paddle, and it was just like, oh, this is the life. There we go again. This happened more times than we got to paddle. I got stuck on so many rocks. I would be going, yeah, this is fun, and and I'd scooch a little bit, wiggle, and get off it. Then I'd keep paddling, and 5 feet later, I hate this. So we didn't realize how far we had gone. We didn't know. I saw a barn in the distance with a little farm and a little house. I'm like, Shane, we should get out and ask them for a ride back up to Freckles to get your truck and forget this. And Shane's like, no, let's keep going. Let's not ask for help, and let's go home this way. We kept going, and it was just constant. 100 feet of smooth, 500 feet of 100 feet of smooth, 500 feet of We were like, we have to be close, because we had been going for hours, and it felt like we had went 20 miles because we were doing so much dragging. There's a little town between Freckles and my town piece, and that town we're gonna call Portlandia. So we're like, we have to be getting close to Portlandia. Shane's like, if we get to Portlandia, I can keep going, you can wait here, I'll get your car, pick you up, we'll go get my truck and all that. As long as we can get to Portlandia to get out, we'll be fine. So we come to a bridge, and we're like, is it Portlandia? Nope, it's just the trail. Because they have a bike trail now. They turned the railroad tracks into a trail here in my town of peace. That's very ironic. This town sucks. It's not peaceful at all. They turned the railroad tracks into a trail, so they had this very nice trestle-like bridge. We were like, oh, that sucks, like paddling underneath it, because that's not where we needed to get out. That was not Portlandia. Shane's like, I remember this spot. It's close to Portlandia. I'm like, awesome. I can't wait to get there because I hate this. So we keep going with a constant struggle of paddling or dragging. But then, lo and behold, it starts to get dark. We're like, what time is it? The sun doesn't set here till 9 now. It had, like, why are we still here? Why have we not gotten to Portlandia? So we keep going, and we're going, and it's just constant dragging, and it's getting dark, and Shane's still dragging me in the kayak, because now I really can't walk in the water, because it's dark. Every time Shane would drag me, he would go, pizza and cuddles. Pizza and cuddles. Pizza and cuddles. And that was what kept us going. I was cold because we had gotten wet from the rain. We were planning on getting out and swimming at one point, but then it rained and it got dark and we were already taking forever. So we're like, no, let's just keep going. Let's try to get home. So now it's dark and we hear rapids. We're like, oh joy. Because we don't know if it's just that the water's really low and it's just bubbling over the rocks, or if it's rapids. And it was deep where we're at. So we're like, it's probably rapids. That's scary. In the dark, I'm like, Shane, this is how people die. Stuck in kayaks, in the dark, going over rapids. This will be the end. Like, if I die, please make one last video for my imaginary friends so they can know that I'm dead and I don't just abandon them, because you guys would need to know. And now I have it set up after all of this that Shannon is to take over my channel and to tell you guys what happened if I would die, cause I ain't leaving yins bitches just to hang. We hear these rapids and Shane's like, should I get out? Like, I don't know. What if it's not rapids? What if it's just a... Well, I'll have to get out anyways. I'm like, but I was scared. I was very scared of flipping my kayak over and either smacking my head off a rock or being stuck in my kayak and drowning. Swimming was not an issue for me because I am very buoyant, I float. So I was just concerned about cracking my head off something or being stuck in the kayak. So he jumps out of his real quick. Good thing he did, because it was rapids and they were really fast and it was deep. It was like up to his waist. And he was like holding on to both kayaks, going through these rapids, being the brakes for us, because I went sideways. I was like, oh no, we're gonna go over them this way, and that's just a recipe for tipping. So we get through these rapids and we're like, we're stupid. And so Shane's between the two kayaks and I grab his hand, I grab his arm, and I'm like, you're wearing a watch. So we check the time, thinking it's like 10:30 or something. It's 12:30 a.m. It's past midnight. We have been in the water now for 8 hours. How? Wait, so So we're like, we have to be close now, because it was only like 10 to 15 miles, and we've already gone 8 hours, but we had no idea how far we had actually gone because of the constant dragging. It was impossible to tell distance. And then we started seeing cars. We saw headlights in the distance, and we're like, civilization. Hey guys, so I didn't really want to have to do this, but the story ended up being a lot longer than I anticipated, and I didn't want to upload a 35-minute video because I just feel like you get bored with that quickly, and I would rather split it in 2 parts. So this is the first part of my kayaking story, and I will post the second part on Sunday. Maybe if you're good, I might do a bonus upload and upload part 2 on Friday, but I don't know, I still have to decide. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up. Comment if you're excited for part 2, if you want to know what happens, let me know your feedback. Subscribe, become one of my imaginary friends if you aren't already, and I will see you in part 2. Thanks guys, love you, bye!